Hello everyone. Today in this video I will talk about ERR object. I will talk about what is this object, and I will give hands-on example of all the methods and properties of this object, and I will also talk about what is this statement means. Default, or this object's default property is number, what that it means. So these are the three things I will talk about in this video: definition, give hands-on example, and explain of this statement. And so my name is MD Shahajada Imran, so that is my name. So in this video these are the things I will talk about. So before I explain about this object, I need to give some example of errors. So there are two types of errors: a syntax error and a runtime error. So I give one example of a syntax error. Let's say dim b. So I have declared a variable b equal to, I will be initializing a value. I have initialized a value. Now if I run it, what happens? If I run it, it says the test cannot continue due to a syntax error. So this is a syntax error. The error is I didn't put double quote here. So I gave one example of a syntax error. And now I will give an example of a runtime error. So I have declared a variable or array a, first bracket 1, first bracket end. So I declared an array that has two elements, element 0 and element 1. I'll be initializing two values into that array. One value, let's say 5, another value, let's say 10. So I declared an array. This is a fixed size array. Size in 1 means it has two elements, a 0 index number and 1 index number. Now if I try to initialize value to the third element, a first bracket 2 first bracket end equal to 15. So now even though there are only two indexes or two elements and the index number 0 and 1, it doesn't exist. Element 2 or index 2, this doesn't exist in this particular array. So now if I run it, what happens? It says run error. Previously I showed example of a syntax error. This time I showed an example of a runtime error, runtime error, and the type is subscript out of range. So this is an example of a runtime error. These are prerequisites that I need to explain before I explain this. So I have to find out the Notepad. Right here, Notepad. runtime error and syntax. syntax error. I gave two examples, one example for syntax error, one example for runtime error. So there are total 49 runtime errors. These are the runtime errors. This is the list of 49 different types of runtime errors. Runtime errors. 49. There are total 49. Sorry, 43. There are total 43 runtime errors. Runtime errors 43. These are the runtime errors. Each error has description, and this is number. This is an integer number. 5 is a number, 6 is a number, 7 is a number, 9 is a number, 10 is a number. These are numbers, and this is description. So the error I have showed, this one, subscript out of range, number is 9. If I go to the example, if I run again, it says subscript out of range. This is run error. Okay. So there are total 43 runtime errors, and also there are 49 syntax errors. These are the syntax errors. This is description and this is number. These are syntax errors. So there are total 49 syntax error, and there are total 43 runtime errors. Now I gave hands-on example of syntax error and runtime error. And I also showed in this document the entire list of runtime errors. This is the entire list of runtime errors, 43, and this is another list of syntax error, and there are 49 errors here. Now I will be going to the topic what we are doing, what I was supposed to explain. So in this video I will be explaining what is ERR object. This ERR is an object. ERR is an object. It is an object of errors. ERROR, errors. It is an object. It is an object versus error. So ERR is an object, and ERROR means mistake or fault or error or something went wrong. That ERROR means. ERR means error, and ERROR means error. ERROR means error or mistake or something went wrong. That is error. And ERR is a built-in object. So one is object, other one is error. Now main topic, the definition. What is error object in VB scripting or Visual Basic Scripting or UFT or QTP? So this is the definition. It is a built-in Visual Basic Scripting object. It is an object, and it is a built-in object, and it is based on Visual Basic Scripting. So it is a built-in Visual Basic Scripting object, and this object holds information about last runtime error that occurred. So this object holds information of last runtime error that occurred, and this object has total two methods and 5 properties. 5 properties. So I will explain. I will give hands-on example of all these 7 methods and properties, and how we can access this object. We can access this object by its name. if I write ERR, so I have accessed this object by its name. There is no need to create an instance. How we create an instance? Usually we say set my do equal to create object for bracket double quote scripting dot. This is an example of creating an instance of an object. Another example would be set my array list equal to create instance for bracket double quote system dot collections dot array list. So these are example of creating an instance. This is an instance of dictionary. This is an instance of array list. But for this particular ERR object, there is no need to create any instance. We just write the name and we access that object. So that's what ERR object means. So it is a built-in Visual Basic scripting object. This object holds information about last runtime error that occurred. There are total 43 errors, 43 runtime errors, and it will hold the last error that occurred during runtime. So it last runtime error that occurred, and we access by just writing the name, and there is no need to create an instance. So this is what the first topic, and I explained. So I will change the color to green so that I can claim that I have explained. So I change the color to green, that means I have explained. Now I will give hands-on example of this. So first I will give now I will give hands-on example of all these 7 errors. So now we know there is an error that's automatically generated, or because I tried to initialize value on the third element, first element, second element, and I tried to initialize 15 value on the third element, but the array has only 2 elements, therefore it is a error, and it is a runtime error. If I run it, the error appears. If I run it, the error appears. Error says subscript out of range. A first bracket 2 first bracket n equal to 15. So that is the error. It is error, and if I go to the list of the errors, this is the error. This is the description of the error, is subscript out of range. Its corresponding number is 9. Now, since this is an error, we cannot process. Once I click OK, the script execution ends. Now there is an error, a statement, not error. There is a statement that's called on error resume next. On error resume next. This is a statement. When we write this statement, that means if there is an error on line number 7, there was an error. Even though there was an error, script execution will process to the next step and continue. Now, even though the error on line number 7, we will not see. The pop-up window will not appear, and that information will be stored in the ERR object. It has total 7 methods and properties. So now I will give example of this one, description. So I will say message box err dot description. Now if I run it, I will get the description in the message box of that error. We know that error is this one. We know that the error is this one. This is the description, and its corresponding number is 9. That we know. And the error appeared on line number 7. Line number 7, that error appeared because we wrote on error resume next. Therefore the script execution didn't get stuck on that line number 7. It processed and continued on line number 9. So now I will be running it. I ran it, and the line in the line number line, this message box says the description is subscript out of range. Subscript out of range. On the line number 7, that error appeared, and on line number 7, the script supposed to get stuck, but because we wrote on error resume next, the script did not get stuck. It processed to line number 8 and the line number 9, and the 9, this pop-up message box appeared. I click on OK. Now that I have showed a hands-on example of description, so I can make those. I change the color to green so that I can claim that I have explained a hands-on example of description. Now I will be showing hands-on example of number. Number, I changed to number. Number. So the error we know on line number 15, and the script didn't get stuck because of this statement. And then line number 9, we will see the corresponding number of the error that appeared on line number 7. And what is the corresponding number of the error? That is 9. So I should see 9. The number I should see 9. I will be running it. It said 9. Okay. So I can claim that this one also I showed hands-on. So I'll be changing the color. And now I will be seeing the source. Source is Visual Basic Script. This error was generated on line number 7. And the moment error generated, this ERR object, this is an object. This object has been filled with information of the last error that generated. The last error generated on line number 7, therefore this object filled with information of that error. This is where the error appeared, and these objects, all the methods and properties all the methods and properties has been filled with information on line number 7 itself. Now I will be putting the source. If I run it, it will say the source is Visual Basic Script. If I run it, it's Microsoft VB Script runtime error. So it source the Visual Basic Script, VB script. Okay. So I will be changing the color to green. That means I have claimed this. I can claim that I have explained this one hands-on. Now this is a help file. This is a file that doesn't get filled in UFT. It gets filled when we create an object or an application isolated from UFT. But we can initialize value, and then we can initialize value. Let's say I will be initializing value ERR dot its help, let's see what is the name, help file, help file. This is a property. I can initialize anything saying c clone / n. So this help file will hold a path of the help file. It's supposed at the line number 7, when the last error appeared, in that time it's supposed to fill, but in UFT it doesn't fill. Therefore I forcefully initialize this value just to show. And it showed whatever I initialized that appeared here. Same way, this one also, help context, it should be integer number. Help context, and let's say I integer number 34. If I run it, it will here also have to write help context. So at line number 7, when the last runtime error occurred, the last runtime error occurred on line number 7. On line number 7 itself, this error objects all the properties. There are total 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All the properties value has been filled on line number 7 itself. The moment the last error occurred, that time on line number 7, these objects, all 5 properties value has been filled, and then I have pulled that value in the message box and viewed. And this one also I can mark as okay. Now there are 2 methods. There are 5 properties I have showed hands-on example. There are 2 methods. Methods is this error actually happened on line number 7 because I declared an array with 2 elements, and then I tried to initialize value on the 3rd element when there is no 3rd element. Actually there is no 3rd element, therefore that was an actual error, and then error appeared on line number, the mistake or error or the fault appeared on line number 7. So it's an error that actually appeared. What if I want to generate forcefully? I commented out everything. Now, even though I didn't make any error, but I want to forcefully generate one error. So I will say err.raise. That means forcefully I'm generating an error. I'm saying error number, let's say, I delete this one, and if I will be putting here description. The raise method will generate an error forcefully. In this particular scenario, actually one error generated on line number 7. Therefore, these objects, all the properties value has been fed. Now, since I commented out this one, and if I commented out this one also, error object is empty. The error object is completely empty. There is nothing. If I run it in the description, I will see nothing. If I run it in the description, I will see nothing. There is nothing. So the error has to generate. Err object will hold err object. Err object will hold last runtime error that generated. Since there was no last runtime error, there was no error, therefore this description value was empty. The error objects, all the properties, all the values were empty. Null, 0, null or nothing. So there must have an error, and then it will hold the last error's information. So error we can forcefully generate, error that can happen actually by mistake, or error that we can manually generate. So I will manually generate one error. I will say line numbers generate raise 6, or generate or make an error, runtime error during, so it will make an error that number is 6. So what is the error that number is 6? This is the 6 number. Error description is overflow. So if I run it, in the description I will see overflow. This error I forcefully asking a script to generate. The raise will forcefully generate an error. If I run it, I will see overflow in the description. Overflow. Okay. I will give another example of raising. Raise means I am forcefully raising one error, forcefully generating one error, one runtime error in the script. So I take another one. Let's say I take this one, 48. The description I will see error in loading DLL 48. If I change to 48, and if I run it, in the description that is what I will see. In the description here, that is what I will see. See error in loading DLL. So this error, so those error can actually generate by mistake, or I can forcefully generate just for explanation. So this is just for explanation. I have forcefully generated using this method, but actually during runtime actual error will happen like this one. Actual error happened. The error number was 9. Description was subscript out of range. Subscript out of range, that is the actual error. Error number 9 that actually appeared. I didn't use raise that time. So now we understand what is raise method. It will forcefully generate an error, runtime error. So I can claim this one also. I have said or showed or explained hands-on. Now clear will clear everything. So even though I have raised on line number 10, I have raised one error. So that err objects, all the properties value has been filled on line number 10 itself, and that I have seed via message box on line number 15. Now I will be using clear method, err.clear. Clear means the error objects, all the properties value has been cleared. There are 5 properties. The moment an error, runtime error occurs, that error objects, all the properties value has been filled, and using this I can clear it. So I have cleared. Now if I use message box err.description. So after clear, first I raised, therefore I will have a value in the description property. Then I cleared, then there will not have any value. So now if I run it, I should see a value on line number 15. This is the line number 15. It is error in loading DLL because I raised that error on line number 10. The moment I raised this error, the err objects, all the 5 properties value has been filled. Description properties value has been filled with this one, and then other properties value like number has been filled with 48, source has been filled with Visual Basic Scripting. Now on line number 17 I will clear. Once I click on, it will be cleared on line number 17, and line number 19 it will display nothing here. So once I click on OK, it's cleared on line number 17 and line number 19. This is from line number 19. It's nothing here. Okay. So I have explained everything hands-on. Okay. So I have explained everything hands-on. Now the thing, and default property is number. Default property is number. So I have raised one error on line number 10. Now if I say message box err, and if I run it, it will show number fields value. Number fields value. Number field value. It will show this one. This errors number field value, and that is the default. So if I run it, it says 48. So if I do not clearly write any property, Err number, this is a property that I clearly write. If I do not write any property, then the script will think number is written or hidden or silent over there. Number. So that's what it means. Default property is number. So if nothing is written, then the script will think number is written by default. There was err and err.ber, same thing. So this one and this one, same thing. So this object's default property is number. So if nothing is written, then the script will think number is written by default or number is silent over there. So that's what it means. The default property is number. So I will be displaying two times. Same thing. On line number 14 it will display 48. On line number 15 also it will display 48, because this and this are exactly the same. If nothing is written, the script thinks this one is written by default or this one is silent over there. This appeared from line number 14. If I click, it will display another message box from line number 15. I clicked, another message box displayed, and the value is same. That's from line number 15. Okay. So I can mark this one also, and this one also green. That means I have explained all these three topics: the definition, hands-on example, and explain what default property means. And thank you guys for watching. Bye.